gentlemen, this is Sugaray Raper, and we are live at the Suga Shack.
What's going on, everybody? This is your main man, Sugaray, here at the Suga Shack. Chilling, just chilling here right before Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's been cool. I have a lot to be thankful for. I'm very thankful that my wife is still hanging in there and thriving and doing real well. I'm thankful for being able to do what I love to do as a living. I'm thankful for my management, Stephanie Gonzalez, and I'm thankful even for that crazy Wizard of Oz, the man behind the wizard, Eric Sessman. I'm thankful for my son. I'm thankful for, as my grandmother used to say, waking up this morning with a reasonable portion of my health and strength. It's time to give thanks, and I'm thankful all the time, but the season has spotlighted it, and so it's time to give thanks. Also want to give a shout out to Soul Tracks. I'm thankful for them premiering my new single, Invisible Soldier, which is the first time I've ever talked about my PTSD, and I put it in a song. Hey, Don Cerrone, how you doing? Janice Palmer, how you doing? Ed Cran, Bob Mosher out in Cape Cod. I've been snowing out there. Barbara Ryan, how you doing? You sexy, big-booted, good-looking woman. You know I love you. Barbara Ryan's out in Massachusetts, C-Note, you know what I'm saying? Ed, what'd you say? It's a musical masterclass. All right, right on. I can dig that. I can dig that musical masterclass. Anyway, I'm your host today. I'm Sugaray Rayford. Everything is going good. We want you guys to go over to my Facebook page and like the post from Soul Tracks. That just the actual single doesn't drop until the 19th, but they just previewed it and putting it up all over the place, and that's pretty cool. Chris Cook, how you doing, Mama? Eric, what's that? Woo, Ilana, Ilana Katz, she was on the show, and then she sent me cookies and handwritten notes and just nice. I like nice people. Why can't everybody just be nice people? Ilana Katz, thank you, baby. Hello, the new song. Thank you for sharing. She sends me a kiss. Charlotte Silky. Charlotte, how you doing, baby? How's it going? You still down in Memphis? Holla at her brother. Laura Hall, what's going on up in Walla Walla? Laura Hall has a little show, The Acousticity. I have a hard time saying that. Barbara Ryan, getting married Friday. Bought our rings and at Cohasset Jewelers from Don Cerrone. Oh, congratulations, Barbara. Barbara Ryan's getting married, y'all. Dang, she's off the market. Crap. But anyway, she's got a good man and blessings on you. That's pretty cool. Right on. Today's question of the day is, what are you thankful for? What is it that has gotten you, make you feel thankful? What am I doing? Oh, I kept wondering what that was. Let me fix that. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Yeah. 2 times sugar. Double chocolate. You heard double chocolate, double Maduro, double chocolate, baby. Let's see here. Ed says it's a musical masterclass. Eric Sessman said hello to everybody. Chris Cook, a warm hello, everyone. I'm just letting a few more people get in, y'all, and we'll get the show started. Today, my guest will be the inimitable Mr. Kevin Selfe. Love this cat. We were talking last night, and I did not realize that we've known each other. I did realize, it's just like, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind that we had known each other for so dang long. And, we both were on the Delta Groove. We both had record deals with Delta Groove. We get into all that good stuff, the music from that. Bless his own Randy, bless his soul, wherever he may be, whether he's in heaven or hell or he's down in Puerto Rico. We don't know. But, Randy, whatever you're at, brother, we love you, man. Right on. Laugh out loud. Charlotte Silky, I'm cold in Connecticut. You're in Connecticut. Are you East Coast people? Are y'all all snowed in yet? I'm here in Arizona. It was 90 degrees yesterday, and then it dropped down to 42. That's the kind of swings we have. Matter of fact, it's warm today. Alexa, what's the temperature? Hey, Samuel, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Tonight, expect a low of 44 degrees.
Thank you, Samuel. at my man Samuel Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, on my Alexa. I like that. Right on. Jan Lowry and Nicole Mullen, how you doing? You got it right. Acousticity. I know it, but I have a hard time saying it, Laura Hall. I'm country and I'm black. I got big lips. It ain't made for that. Acousticity. Yeah, like electricity. I know electricity. I've been saying that one a while. You guys, here we go. Go check out the Invisible Soldier premiere. Follow the link at Sugar's Facebook page. That's my. I'm reading it like I'm at my Facebook page. And I got a bit of a cold. It is not COVID. I've had 2 COVID tests. The family's had COVID tests. Not COVID, but definitely it's a winter cold that's coming in on me. Janice Palmer, how you doing? Thanks for being out, Toby. Toby, I missed you at the New Blues Fest in Long Beach. That was a lot of fun with Tito Jackson. That was pretty cool. And Bill and all those guys. Very cool. You know what I'm gonna do right now is I want to play this track. It's been premiered right there on Soul Tracks, and hope you guys can dig it. Check this out. Here is me, my new song. First time I actually openly speak about my PTSD. The song is called Invisible Soldier. Hope you can dig it. Aaron Joy, how you doing, brother? How's India today? Mike Leisure, welcome back, brother. Right on, John. I'm with you. Eric, everything going good? Give me a thumbs up. Hope you guys are leaving. It's my new single. Maybe today on Soul Track. It dropped on the 19th. Check it out at my website. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Show me some love. Show me some love. Nobody knows ya. Invisible soldier. Nobody for ya. Right on, Jan Larry. Tell myself, simplify your love. get in trouble for playing it. But anyway, you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do that. Yeah, you got to ruffle a little feathers here and there. Right away, Invisible Soldier, and it's the first time that I've openly talked about my struggle with PTSD. Being with Pam all these years has been really good because she's such a calming influence on me. When we first got together, it was really, really bad. I used to wake up in the middle of the night, literally karate kicks and straight on fighting. And thank God that through all those years, I never harmed or kicked my wife out the bed or whatever. And then I would go through these things where I couldn't sleep, and I used to walk around the neighborhood like I was on patrol and checking the doors 20 times. It's crazy, the PTSD. And even now, if anybody goes out on the road with me, they know that shit never sleeps. It's like I maybe sleep 2 or 3 hours a night, maybe, and then I'm up and running. I mean, that's just me. But what I've tried to do is take those parts of PTSD and use them in my favor. Since I'm awake anyway, I use that energy, and it's worked for me. But right now we just thinking about that, and we want to put that out there, and we're giving thanks because it's close to Thanksgiving. I also want to let you guys know real fast before I start bringing guests and stuff on that next week we are canceling the show. We were going to have Joe Louis Walker on. His camp wanted him to be on, but I guess he's now out touring and won't be able to do it until later. And so I'm going to go ahead and cancel the show, and then I'm going to drive to Texas because my brother just made me realize that I haven't spent Thanksgiving at home in Texas since last time was 1987. So I'm going to go home and, go try and do that. Yeah. So we will be canceling it. And there it is right there. Let's check that out. Let's see if we can get it up on the double. And my man Otis. Ain't he so cute? Odie Patoti. Show is canceled for next week. All right. We got a lot going on. Matter of fact, let me play one Kevin for me and Kevin, and then I'm gonna get him up on the stage. Kevin, can you hear me now, brother? You good? I'm gonna bring you up in a second. Let's take this out. You brought this one up to my attention. I hadn't seen this in like forever. This is the Managed Board with Kevin Selfe and me at the BMAs, and I don't even remember what year it was, but I want to say it was the year the Double Dynamite came out. Is it 2013? See if y'all can dig this. Check this out.
This one was written by Randy. Hope y'all like it.
It was my regular guys, Aaron Lynch down Straw.
The blues. Y'all ready to have a good time? Are y'all ready to have a good time? This ain't no high society, y'all. Come on. This is what we do in the blues.
I don't know if y'all can hear that. It seems really low to me. But not much I can do about it. Everybody's out there in $8,000 suits. They have their $8,000 suits, don't want to move. Well, because we had a limited time. Hold that comment, because they can't hear you. They just hear me talking. Like, I wish there was a way I could turn this up. That's right, Judy Beck. There's a lot of talent up in the Pacific Northwest. Toronto in the house. You may have to try to turn it up on your end, and then once we start talking, you have to bring it down.
Hey, y'all. Say, had me another woman around the time she came along. But after I met you, I said, bye, my baby. Bye, bye, your sweet love is gone. Come on, drink. Come on. It's all right now. It's all right. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Goldwasser. Baby, forgive me. Forgive me for the things I do. Mama, forgive me. Forgive me for the things I do. Ain't that right, Willie? 'Cause I be nothing, darling.
Thank y'all. Y'all know I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Come on, boss. Come on, Kevin.
Eric Sessman, we need to make sure we start numbering all these shows. Because we're getting like, we should be like 75 or 80 or something. That way we can always go back and we got them numbered and like show number this. Terry Linder said this is an awesome lunch break. Right on, baby. Play it, Kevin.
Forgive me for the things I do. Daddy, forgive me.
Thought I had a little snowfall, y'all.
I'd be nothing, darling. I'd be nothing without you.
Kirby Shaw, how you doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving to you and Mama and your entire family, brother.
The Blues Music Award for the Traditional Blues Album of the Year is awarded to...
Right on, y'all. That was cool. That was the BMAs back in the day. Without further ado, and he's been cool sitting backstage. Let's get him up here, y'all. Please put your hands together for my guest today and my friend, my main man, Mr. Kevin Selfe, y'all.
Hey, Sugar. Hey,
All right,
Sugar.
wait a minute. What are we like? Wait, let's get you big. There we go.
Man.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, man, good to see you.
You too, brother. You too, man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, man, we got 2 times Sugar again. There we
Well,
go.
I want to be able to look while I'm looking at you or something.
Okay, cool.
How you doing, brother? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm just hanging in there like everybody. Yeah.
Happy pre-Thanksgiving, brother.
Happy pre-Thanksgiving. That's a great list of stuff you got to be thankful for, man. I think we all can find stuff. You know?
You can always find the negative. What's the old saying? It's a lot harder to build than and a lot easier to tear down. But building is much better. So instead of trying to be sour about it, I'm giving thanks for the things that I have. So
yeah, I'm thankful.
Go ahead.
I'm thankful it's not raining in Portland today. It was like raining for like I can see the sun. It's like burning my eyes out. I can see the sun.
Really? The sun is actually out?
Yeah, sun's actually out. It was like 45 this morning. So yeah, the sun's actually out.
Wishing?
No, it was actually out. We had the signing. It was like had to put sunglasses on. So.
Well, Eric is up there your way. He's right about 2 hours up the road. He's up in Seattle. So.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eric, is it sunny? Is it sunny in Seattle also? Oh, look at your Northwesterners getting a little sun.
You get a little sun. Yeah. I think it rained for like 2 weeks straight, so we need it. They got some flooding up there where Eric's at. It's bad. It's really bad.
Oh, I didn't know that, really.
Yeah. had to close some evacuate some people. And anything so
Did
good.
your place flood, Eric?
Water.
Wait a minute. Let's get him on for a second. We got an hour.
Yeah, we had a lot of water, man. A lot of water.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
I had the sump pumps going full blast. They were barely able to keep up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah, we got like a crawl space sort of thing, and it floods in a heartbeat. All the neighbors' water runs into our yard and just floods. It's been raining like
I usually try to keep up with the weather, you guys. I hadn't heard anything about it. It rained 2 weeks straight.
Oh my God!
Yeah, So
pouring.
We've got some storm rain like.
So we got a break now, and it's time to take the dogs out for a walk and enjoy it while we got it, baby.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, Kevin would know. I mean, he does in meteorology, so
I don't know. I wind up the first thing we talk about. I wind up steering the conversation to the weather. So I don't know. Yeah, that's all good, baby. It's all good. So how you been, man? Good. I'm just still trying to play a little bit. I played all through. We've been doing some outdoor gigs all through the winter up here last winter, and we're going to do it again. Right. And I've been doing that jam, at the Blue Diamond I've been there almost like 8 or 9 years, and we were outside all winter. I was playing in snow. I could look over and see like snow in my guitar case last year. So we're still trying. Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But we just wanted to keep the music going and try to keep some of the venues going. Because they've been having a tough time, just like all of us musicians,
Yeah, that's the big thing. We've lost a lot of venues.
A lot of good ones, man. A lot of good ones. So,
in fact, I just saw that Barbara Ryan, my buddy Barbara Ryan, she runs this. I don't know if you ever played there, but the whole Massachusetts. She runs C-Note, C-Note, and she's the manager and whatnot of that. And she was shut down for 1.5 years, and thank God, they raised money and everything. And I think she opened a few months ago. They reopened. So
that's good. That's good, man.
Wait a minute, Anita White. Oh, Lady A.
Lady A.
How you doing, Anita?
The real Lady A.
Eric said he made a quick count. This is show number 73. And then Lorraine said, "Rain in Portland." Never.
So we have two seasons here in Portland. We have rain in August, so that's about it.
Rain in August.
Rain in August, man. Yeah, that's it. I'm from the South like you, so I got up here. It was a big change, man.
I mean, it gets cold. Even though you're from the South, it gets cold.
I'm from Virginia, so I'm in the mountains up there near Roanoke. So it was cold. Yeah, it got real cold up there.
I'm going back out there to do a show here this year in Roanoke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I need to get.
Are you really?
If you're around, I should see if I can get you to come.
You let me know when it is. I might come back there. Is it at the same place that you played before, the Jefferson Center?
I think it's at that theater again, that big theater.
That's a nice place. That was really
nice.
I know. I had a lot of my friends from Roanoke. They were messaging me, telling me how much they loved your show there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had people. Yeah, they send me messages like, "Oh man, you were front page of the newspaper when you come to town to Roanoke."
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, you were. They sent me pictures of it. And so yeah, let me know. Let Alan know, and I'll try to get out there when you're playing.
I will. Once I get hang out. These dates, we're just starting to push dates in again, so we can get out and start running. So, what said? Anita White, Kevin, are you doing any more cross country treks? So
the hiking, the hiking. All my I'm thinking about it. Because Sugar and I.
There's people from all over the world here. They don't know. You got to start from the beginning.
I'll start from the. I don't know where the beginning is. So after I guess it was the last album I put out was I don't know 5 years ago. It was on BizTone, and I was getting to the point where I needed a break. I needed a break. We talked about that a little bit last night when we were hanging out.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I just want to go walk. And I'd never spent a night outside in the woods my whole life. I didn't know what I was doing. And I decided to hike the Appalachian Trail. And I, wound up in Georgia and in March. And I hiked, was 2,190 miles all the way up to Maine and spent 6 months living in a tent in the woods. And so, I came back to Portland and like, okay, I'm going to start playing again. I'm like, no, my feet got antsy. And so I ended up hiking from Mexico to Canada on the PCT, on Pacific Crest Trail. And The beer, yeah, the big beer. No, I don't miss that, man. I'm telling you, that thing got itchy. I mean, it was like, yeah, it was pretty bad. But there was, that was like a span of 2 or 3 years where I wasn't really playing.
Well, let me ask you though.
Yeah.
Let me ask you though. Did it calm your soul? Did it help you put things in perspective?
Oh yeah, man. It definitely helped me put life in perspective. And I'm a firm believer, if you're doing what you're meant to be doing, things are going to work out for you. Yeah. And if you're doing stuff you're not meant to be doing, it's not right. And you just got to put yourself in a position to do the things that you're meant to do. And for me, hiking and playing music, those are the things that I love. And I would go out there and there'd be a lot of days I'm hiking 30, 35 miles every single day from the time like 6 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. And that's a lot of time to be up in your mind, and that's a lot of time to think about music and about what you want to do in your life and what's important to you. And, a lot of that stuff goes away. Like, I'm not on, you're not checking your phone all the time. You're not on social media. And it's like, what inspires your soul?
Yeah.
And then it came back to, like music and just being outside, spending some time outside. And those are the two big things for me.
Did you not have a bunch of Wi-Fi service there?
I did. I had some. Yeah, I had some. Yeah, like when I was.
You up in the mountains, though.
Oh yeah. There was a whole day, like a whole weeks at a time where I didn't get any phone service at all.
What's so weird about that? My dogs and I, we do our little mile and a half hike every day. And I said that, which I shouldn't have said, because now I feel embarrassed after dealing with the Appalachian. But I've started this new practice of just turning my phone off.
Yeah.
In the evening.
Yeah, I do that too. It's like right before, like an hour or so before bed, I just turn it off. And just spend some time just kind of decompressing, because we all need that. I mean, think about how much time we spend in front of screens every day. Yeah. And think about like 20 years what we were doing with that 20 years ago. And I was
20 years ago,
playing music outside playing, I was playing, or I was playing music, or I was just playing in the woods. And that's what I want to get back to doing. Not that I don't like seeing you on the screen right now.
No. I understand,
but you know how it is. Yeah.
You know that I understand.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Like I said, before all this pandemic and before the cancel with Pam, like I was telling you last night, I had scheduled to have 3 to 4 months off because I was mentally and physically burnt out.
Yeah.
I mean, I had been beyond hustling. You know what my schedule was like.
I know. Yeah, it was crazy, and we all need to take breaks like that.
I probably would have hit the damn Pacific Trail if Pam had been sick. I mean, I still right now need to just like get away and decompress it, like you said. I need to have that. If I can just find myself a week or here or there, and actually, I think driving down to Texas,
that's going to be good for you, man.
Yeah, that's why I drive. People always worried about me because I drive all the time, and I tell people all the time, driving is my zen. It's the one spot. I'm in my truck by myself. I got my cigar, I got some tunes. I'm watching what I'm doing, but I get lost in my head. I work through things. And usually after I drive, I may be exhausted, but at the same time, I'm mentally lightweight. Like I have a lot of baggage out there on the road. So
that's the way. That's the way I'm in the woods when I just keep walking. I'm like, I just got to walk this trail until I hit Canada, and that's all I got to do. And that's the way I meditate.
How long did it take you?
So the Appalachian Trail took me 6.5 months because I got injured on both of them, but I mean, I tore a tendon in my foot on the second day of the Appalachian Trail, and then I took a couple weeks off and got back on, and then on the PCT I broke my fibula, like cracked it, and I just kept on walking. I walked another 1,000 miles on that. So I'm a little crazy when it comes to that stuff. But that one took me 4 months and 23 days to do the Pacific Crest Trail
with a broken fibula.
Yeah.
You sure you wasn't a Marine like myself?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was like you're a tough dude.
I mean, Camp Lejeune and all that just down.
I know Camp Lejeune. Yeah, I had some buddies that were down at Camp Lejeune, man. Yeah, and Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune and all. Yeah, I had some buddies that were in the military.
So 5 years since that last album. Have you put out any
Yeah.
other albums, or what's going on with that?
So that was one on VizTone. I haven't put out anything because I was literally in the woods, and then to come back and there's, we got a pandemic going on, and like I think a lot of us are in the same boat where we're trying to figure out what do we do with these, with recording, because we can't go and go on tour and support it. Do we really want to put an album out right now and put our best stuff out when we can't get out in front of people?
Yeah,
and so
that's we released our single today, but the album has been done for a while. I mean, we said
you're sitting on it, and so I'm the same. I'm kind of in the same boat as like, well, I don't want to go and do that if I can't get out in front of people and tour.
Well, can't make it if you can't tour.
I know.
You can't make any money.
I know.
People are not going down to Sam Goody like the old days.
No,
buying your
I know,
album.
and that's the thing. It's like, do we even print out CDs anymore? Everybody's down. I mean, I download music, and most everybody else I know, and I mean, people that when we're playing festivals, they will buy the CD. Yeah. I have lots of people that buy just to support us. So like, okay, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go home and download it too.
Yeah.
So, I really appreciate people supporting like that. I've had many people say, I don't even own a CD player, but I'm going to buy a CD from.
Well, I don't have one in my truck. Brand new truck, bought it in 2018. It doesn't have a CD player. I mean, I'm basically listening to XL most of the time, or I can put it in a Fire Stick or something. But yeah, it's kind of weird,
Yeah.
So, but do you have music recorded and you're just sitting on it? Or?
I've got a few. I have the. I'm fortunate that I live 5 blocks from Jimmy Bott's house.
Right on.
Yeah, and he's does all the recording. He's got a great studio, Roseleaf Recording Studio. Yeah, you've been there. You recorded on. I think you were on the last one.
I've recorded a few times in there.
Yeah.
I even recorded on one of your albums.
Yeah, you did Blues Man Without the Blues. Yeah, Blues Man Without the Blues.
Yeah.
And so I can go over there and do that. So I've got a few things that we've got in the can already. And yeah, I'm still kind of thinking about what I want to do. So inspiration on some other things.
Well, I was laughing last night when you was telling me this. You was walking through the woods. You was getting calls from Peter.
I know from Peter. So I think
let's talk. Can you talk? You feel like talking about that?
Yeah, because I think Jan Lowry, she's on the chat. She asked. She mentioned something. Yeah, she mentioned something about. I was like, wait a minute, you came home to do some gigs when you were on the trail, and I can't remember where it was. I was somewhere in like Maryland or Pennsylvania, and when I got into a town, I looked at my email, and I got a message from Peter, who's the music coordinator of the Waterfront Blues Festival, which is one of the biggest ones in the country. It's up here in Portland. And he's like, hey, I know you're on the trail, but do you have any interest in coming back and playing the festival? I was like, well, I haven't picked up a guitar in 3 months. If you think it's a good idea, yeah. And he's like, sure, come on back. So we had to figure out a way to get me back out of the mountains and figure out where it was going to be, like the closest airport I could get. And so I ended up being somewhere like in Vermont. I had a really good friend of mine, a fan who lives up in Portland, Maine. He drove all the way over from Portland, Maine into the Green Mountains of Vermont.
But see, I say this, and I may be wrong, but it's my experience. The blues fans, man, they will go to bat for you and help you out. I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's like like Jason was talking about last week about getting
Jason Ritchie. Everybody, talking about Jason Ritchie.
Yeah, Kevin's mechanic. He didn't know, he got hooked up with his mechanic, and it's like, I don't know this guy. He's like, he come in and got him back on the road, and so I didn't know where I was going to be. I had no idea, and I had my buddy come all the way over from Portland, Maine, into Vermont, and then drive me to the Boston airport to catch a flight to go back to Portland, Oregon to play this festival. So, I hadn't been playing at all. I've been trying to sneak, they have like hostels on the trail, and I've been trying, there's usually some broken down guitar I've been trying to like tune up and play like for a couple of songs just to get in there. And so I get back on, and next thing I know, I'm in front of like 20,000 people in Waterfront Blues Festival. Like, okay, do I still remember how to do that? And I've got the big, huge beard, and I'm looking like Grizzly Adams. And I wish
I can find a picture of that.
Oh no, there's lots of pictures. Yeah, I mean, Aaron might be able to find one on my Facebook page. But that was an amazing experience. I was literally like, the day before, I was in a tent in the woods, eating like Spam and ramen noodles, and the next day I'm halfway across the country and I'm in front of 20,000 people playing, with my big band at the blues festival. And
and it was your big band.
Yeah, with the horn section and
album. When we talked last night, I was assuming that you went solo. But
no, that was
harder.
Yeah, no, that was my horn section. No rehearsal, no nothing. Just like, all right, I haven't picked up a guitar, like a real guitar, in 3 months. But like we were talking about last night, the hardest thing is, I hadn't sang it all in 3 months. But the other thing is, I really hadn't even talked to anybody because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And there's some people on the trail, but I'm not like having conversations. Like my voice isn't even getting used. So about 3 or 4 songs into that set, I'm like, oh, I can start feeling it. This is going to be tough.
We were talking about that last night.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about I always tell people, singing unlike playing. I mean, your saxophone, you can always get a new reed, new valves. Guitar, you can always restring it. Keys, you can always get a tune. When the voice is hurting like that and it hasn't been used, it's like a muscle. It's like you've been just running marathons. Now all of a sudden you're taking a year or 2 off. And then they want to throw you on the world stage and say, okay, run another marathon with no.
I know. It's crazy. So, when I went and did the Pacific Crest Trail the next year, I was somewhere in California and I get another message from Peter. It's like, hey, since you're back out on the trail, do you want to do this again? I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going to be.
I think Peter was just trying to keep you off the trail.
I don't know. So now I have to go hike the Continental Divide Trail so I can go back and play the Blues Festival again next year and go do the Triple Crown.
But I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead, tell me. So
this time I when I was hiking, I knew I was going to have to do this gig. I got my set on my phone and I was singing along to my recording so I could at least try to stretch my vocals out a little bit and not embarrass myself. So it ended up, it's an amazing experience. Like the blues community, was so supportive of me, like leaving to take some time for myself, and I went and I did these hikes and, I had so many people, messaging me. I kept a journal every day I was on the trail and it had 125,000 views for that journal.
Wow.
So people were like, staying up with me and I was getting just so much encouragement. And it was just, it's like family, our blues community, they're family. I had people I had a buddy that would fly down to California just to, so I could, he could pick me up off the trail so I could go and get a shower at a hotel and give me some food to eat and a new pair of shoes and things like that. And it really touched me, just to know that these people were here, even if I wasn't playing music, even if I was, they come to know me as a person. And I think it really goes back to, putting everything I had into my music and telling our stories. Like you're telling your story about your PTSD. That's huge. That's, anybody can just go out and just write a song about something innocuous that doesn't mean anything to them. But what makes you special as an artist is when you can take your personal story and relay that through your music and you have your own voice and people can relate to you.
It's also very scary because like I tell people all the time, a lot of times my sets, whether they realize it or not, because I like to turn everything into a party. Yeah. But it's like reading my diary.
I know.
I'm leaving it all out there.
Well, the first time we played together a few times. We did.
In fact, for y'all that don't know, the whole reason I ever even got the first time, and the whole reason I ever even got to play the Pacific Northwest was because of Kevin. I remember that. You called me up. Out of the blue and like, okay, I know Kevin.
Because we're on the same level. We were at the Delta
but we didn't really know each other. But all of a sudden, I was up doing this tour with you, and he told me last night I walked in and it's just a 3-piece, and I was like,
trio. Like, where the horns? Where's the horns coming next? Or is this just the backline trio? Where's the horns? Where's your keyboard player? I'm like, no, man, this is just a trio. And your eyes were like, all right, we're gonna have to work. And we went to work. We had a blast. It ended up being a blast.
It was. It honestly was.
Yeah.
It honestly was. Every once in a while that video popped up with us as Sapalil, but you know what?
Mm-hmm.
While you talking, Let me play this real quick. Matter of fact, as you just mentioned that, check this out, y'all. I'm gonna pull me.
Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about when I really realized how deep everything was for you, and this was us playing Death Letter up at Highway 99.
Listen. I got a letter this morning. Look out now. How do you reckon it read? Said, hurry, hurry. The girl you love is dead. Got a letter this morning, y'all. And how do you reckon it read? It read, hurry, hurry, the girl you love is dead. So I packed up my suitcase and I took her down the road. When I got there, she was laying on a cooling board. I grabbed up my suitcase, y'all. I took her down the road. She was laying on a cooling board. So I walked right up to her and I looked down in her face. Said, the good old girl got to lay here to judgment day. I walked right up to her, Lord, and I looked down in her face. Said, good old girl got to lay here the judgment day. Now listen, look like 10,000 people gathered around the burning ground. Said, I didn't know how much I loved her until they began to let her down. 10,000 people gathered around the burning ground. I didn't know how much I loved her until they began to let her down. Come on, big brother, son. How do you reckon it read?
get ready, hurry, hurry. The girl you love is dead. All right, man, you play a mean get fiddle, man.
Thanks, man. Man, that was deep. That's deep, man.
Let me give shouts out to my main man, Big Money, Al Walker. Al Walker,
Al.
I absolutely love you, brother. And way back when I first started at Cozy's, way back in the day, Al was like one of the first horn guys to come down and show me love. And I wound up being blessed to drag him halfway around the world many, many times. If you know Al, he is a ball of energy. Big Al, I love you, and I always will love you, brother.
And you know, Al and Al's from Roanoke too. We're both from Roanoke.
I remember we were talking about that a few times.
We were talking about like King's Inn, all this stuff back in the day in Roanoke, man.
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
Yeah, what a character, man. I love that cat. Love that cat. You mind? And I mean, we got more time, but do you mind if I show one more video of you?
Yeah, go ahead. That'd be great.
Cool. I'm gonna bring up another video. This is if you remember, this is after Leo had the stroke. And we all that San Diego.
We were right before you guys, and I made the mistake of flying in an hour before that show started.
I didn't know that.
Oh, we flew in that morning, and my keyboard player missed the flight. He missed the flight, and he got there with like 10 minutes to spare to make that gig. But that was a great show, man. Mike Kingsman putting that on.
You know, Michael moved to Nashville.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah, a few years back. But Michael Kinsman, he did a great job with that.
He did.
What else say? Send me my $5. Always been that. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, here, let's check this out. Let's see, where is that? Oh, I already got it up. I'm gonna pull me off the screen. Here we go.
This is one of my. It's called "Pack It Up." It's all meant to be, baby. And I'm
man. I dug that, man.
Yeah, that's
I remember that festival. That was great.
Yeah, that was a great festival. We went on right before you. Thank goodness we weren't not after you. You guys are killing that day, man.
Oh man.
You guys were killing that day. But that was a fun. That band is awesome because it's got, of course, Alan, who's now in your band.
Well, I was gonna say we share a bass player.
Share the bass player, and then of course the one and only Jimmy Bott. The tenor sax player that is in my big band, Chris Mercer. So the song we played is a Freddie King song.
Okay.
And it was recorded in '74, and Chris wrote the song. He's on the original recording. It's him on the original recording of that. So yeah, he played with some heavy guys. I mean, he was in John Mayall's band. He was back in the '60s. There was videos of him playing with Buddy Miles and Buddy Guy, and it's crazy. It's mind blowing. The guys played with everybody.
Well, my band at that time was the same way. I had Ralph Carter, who was my bass player, MD, who wrote all the stuff for Eddie. Yeah. He wrote "Shakin'," and see him young in the video playing the bass and all that, and then of course Lavelle played with everybody. And
I think Al Walker was with you then. I think
Big Al was with me, and Al played with everybody. Al, Temptations, Four Tops, but we be all day. He played with everybody. But let's get some technical stuff because we have a lot of guitar players on here, and they always want to know. They want to know these things.
Okay.
All right. First thought is, what's your favorite guitar? I know that's always hard for guitar.
Yeah.
What's your favorite guitar?
Man, that's really tough. I'm split between. I always bring 3 guitars if I can to shows. So I grew up playing a Strat. That's where I thought. That's how I kind of thought about things. Is like I'm playing Strat. I grew up listen to like Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan and those guys and Jimmy Vaughan and Ronnie Earl and all of those those real hardcore Strat guys. And when I moved to Portland, it's been 14 or 15 years ago. I did not want to get pigeonholed as the next Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix kind of guy. I wanted to kind of get away from that sound. So I ended up picking up a hollow body, and now I'm playing a Gibson ES 335, and I love that. So I kind of have two like mindsets. If I'm doing my Freddie King thing, doing that kind of stuff, more of the R&B thing, I'm going with my 335. If I want to do like the Ronnie Earl or the Fabulous Thunderbirds, Jimmy Vaughan stuff, I got my Strats. And then if I want to do the things like Death Letter, I've got a 1965 Sears Silvertone that's it costs like $20 in the catalog. It's all beat up and everything, and that's just playing some nasty low down blues slide. That's some cool stuff there.
But that's what the old guys did. All these guys, they want to get all these crazy $10,000 guitars. And I used to tell them, like, man, when you listen to Lightning Hopkins and all these guys, the early versions of them, they're playing those Sears and Roebuck guitars, or
that's it.
Just this little cheap stuff. The sound was coming out their fingers.
It comes out, and I tell people that all the time. And I still do a jam here when I'm in town, and I see guys coming with different guitars every week. Different. It's like, how are you going to get your sound if you don't settle on one thing? And that that guitar that was in that video of us and the Manch Boys, that white guitar, I've had that guitar since I started playing in 1991. I've had that guitar for 30 years. My uncle gave it to me.
Right.
And that's my sound. And I've had that the hollow body for 12 years. I've had the Silvertone for 15 or 20 years. I've had the same amp for over 20 years. I don't change my stuff. I just
that's what I was going next. I'm working my way there. Strings. What are you using?
So I'm using 10s now. And I used to be crazy, and I used 12s tuned to standard tuning until I got to Portland for a long, long time. And I thought that you needed heavy strings to get that tone, and all it did is just going to tear your fingers up because you don't need it. You talk to some of the guys, and I think Mike is playing like Mike Welch, Monster Mike. I think he plays like really light strings. He has insane tone.
Yes, he does.
Insane tone, and it does not matter what strings you're using. Kenny Blu-ray, who lives up here now, he's playing 8s or 9s, insane tone. And you don't need these big heavy strings for that. And I'm thinking about going down lighter. I see the stuff that Mike does when he's doing his slide, the fake slide stuff on his guitar. It's mind blowing.
And I played many shows with Mike. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen him even break a string.
Yeah,
he must have. I just don't remember. I just don't remember him doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you said you have your same amp. What are you using?
1966 Fender Blackface Super Reverb.
Is that tubes?
Oh yeah, it's all tube. And I'm lugging
the tubes.
Yeah. I can still get the tubes. There's some some stuff.
You know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah. You have to get the good stuff like that. You got to know some dudes. Yeah.
Because I'm always afraid when I see my guys traveling with tube amps because
I carry extra tubes. And I've had them go out. Yeah, I've had them. I carry an extra amp. I carry an extra tubes, and I've got backups to the backups because I've had. We've had it all happen.
Yeah.
Your amp goes down in the middle of a festival, and you're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, there's the other amp. You just pull it over and you just start doing it." So yeah, definitely too. That's I've seen some guys get some decent tone out of the quilters.
Yeah,
I know, and those.
I know Gino. That's what he's using.
Gino was using that for a while, and those are for traveling. You can't beat that. You can get dude. Yeah, they are loud. Like 100 watts.
10, 15,000 people. And
it's like this big.
They wouldn't even mic him because they don't need to mic him. It's like Albert King, but it was like you said, it's like that.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like Albert King and BB King, they were playing solid state amps. They were playing a lot of times. They were playing these big, huge solid state amps that were just cranked, and that's how they were getting like speaker overdrive, but not tube overdrive. And so it's all in the fingers. It really is. Once you get down to it, it's all in your fingers, man.
What about pedal wise? What is your go-to?
So I've got 5 pedals. Well, 4. Yeah, 4 pedals that I use mainly. One is Ibanez TS-808 Tube Screamer, which is a vintage. That's like a 1981. It's something that like Stevie Ray would use. It's that kind of stuff.
It's funny that we say 81. People say 81. We say vintage. Like
it's vintage. Well, it's 40 years ago. Like when
it feels weird.
I bought that pedal. It was in the 90s, and that pedal cost me like $600 or $700 in the 90s.
Wow,
and it's crazy. Yeah, because that was like that's the holy grail of pedals. So I have that stays in my chain all the time. I've got a Love pedal. It's like kind of a boutique amp, and they call it OD11. I think it was my buddy AC Porter, who's a great guitar player here in Portland. He turned me onto that, and that's really cool. It's just like kind of clean, little boost, and then I have a Vox wah pedal, and that's about it. That's all I do. So it's not super overdriven. It's basic.
So it's a pretty tight small rig, which is and you get good tone out of it. I mean,
well, my amp is huge. My amp my amp weighs 45 pounds. It's a 410 40 watt 410. So that's a loud amp. Yeah.
But when you have a big band, you kind of need it though.
Yeah. Well, when you got somebody like Jimmy Bop playing drums.
Well, Jimmy's not a loud drummer.
You've just been playing. You've been playing blues stuff with him. When we get going, man, that dude, he is got to be.
No. Jimmy, Mike Zito, Willie J.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did the thing with Zito. You did that rock thing
called the Blues Giants.
Yeah, and
Jimmy will get going. Bit of everything with that, and I've seen Jimmy. I've seen Jimmy getting loose. But
yeah,
I play with loud drummers, so
I know you do.
He's not loud to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's Jimmy is the most diverse, like volume wise. I mean, he can play like brushes, and he can play, he can play loud. Like, he was with the Thunderbirds for 10 years.
Yeah.
Playing those stadium gigs to 50,000 people and stuff.
And that's what I tell people all the time. Like we show up sometimes, and you're on tour, so you got club dates. And I used to apologize to people in front of them. I said, listen, y'all, I'm going to do my best to hold them back. But, they just played in front of 20,000 people last night.
I know.
We've been doing festivals, and now all of a sudden we're in front of 200 or 300 people. And
it's tough, man. You get going, you're just like, ugh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing a Lavelle at some of those gigs like that. It just was like, I want to beat him up.
He beat him up. He beat him up.
Beat him up. Yeah.
Well, we're coming to the end of the hour. That was quick, man.
I know.
We got time. So actually, we're over. But anything else you'd like to say? You want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I'm just grateful that we're still out making music. We're still able to do this. I mean, people like they're supporting us through all this stuff. That's what I'm thankful for. You know, just all the fans and the friends who come out, you know, week in and week out to our gigs, who buy our stuff, who come and watch you. And you've been doing this, what you said, 70 some shows now?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
Suga Shack?
That's amazing. Yeah, Suga Shack.
And it just I see we're starting to get we're getting a little robotic. Let's be things Wi-Fi changer. But I started it just because I felt like I'd been isolated from everybody.
Yeah.
And there was all these different digital things going, and I said, well, if I start a show, and originally I was just going to do one or two of them, and it was just like, well, let's start this to see. I said, I know so many people, and I've crossed paths with so many people. You know, I want to talk to them, and give the audience a chance to be able to fly on the wall. Like, this is what happens when we meet in the green room.
Yeah,
we've been out. All of a sudden, literally, it's surreal for us sometimes, and we don't think about it. Like, I just played with a guy in Portland. Then 3 weeks later, we're in freaking Lithuania or something. You turn around like, "Hey, Kevin, what's going on, man?" Oh man,
I know. It's the funniest thing. That and the van rides, man. I tell you what, whew, just the stories, just the stories in the van. Yeah, I mean, people are getting some of that here. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we would kind of chat about, in the bands.
There are some things that we can't let.
We cannot. No, we can't. But
somebody wanted to know. She wanted to know. Nicole Mullen was saying. Let me pull that. Let me go back to that. She said, "Do you take the guitar you love so much on the plane?"
Yeah, so I will take, usually if I have to fly, I'll take the Strat because it's easier. It's just easier to carry. If I have to break that, I can take that apart if I want to. And it's easier, smart. You can kind of sneak on the plane a little bit, because that is one of the biggest hassles in the world, is being a guitar player and flying and trying to make sure to take care of your equipment, not lose your equipment.
Guitars and bass. And
Alan has a terrible time too. Just trying to. I mean, that, and we really stay awake at night thinking about that, because you lose your favorite instrument. I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's like a death in the family. And so,
and that's what the airlines. I know they don't care. But they, I know that most of the big guitars I play with now, they've all found like Ibanez or Deans, and then they kind of Frankenstein them to try to get the sound that they want, because, it's not even about being insured. What people don't realize is some of these guitars, you can't get it again.
I know.
That's it.
No,
it's a one-off. That is it.
I know.
Even if you have the money, they don't come up to be sold because they're in people's private collections. And, maybe 20, 30 years from now, you might get lucky enough to even get a chance at making a bid on one or something. It's really weird,
Yeah. So, I mean, that we'll stay awake thinking about making sure our stuff gets on the plane.
That's a scary thing, dude. I always feel bad for my bass player and guitar player. There ain't nothing I can do, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even gone as far as buying extra seats,
Have you really?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have literally a couple times I've bought extra seats, and I've had flight attendants come on and tell me, well, you can't put that guitar in that street. And I'm like, well, I bought that seat. I bought both the seats, and still had to fight with them saying that you couldn't, because they're so tuned to like taking your guitar from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. It's crazy, man.
It is. Is it true? Every guitar sounds different and unique.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, every guitar I picked up feels different, even if it's the same like model or same. It's got some little different quirk to it. Yeah. I mean, everyone. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm listening.
So that's okay. Yeah, I can take. So a question I was thinking for you, Sugar, is like who have you like had the chance to like sit in with and play with that was just like blew your mind?
Man, it's weird for me because I left music, and so I knew gospel stuff, and I had heard R&B stuff, but didn't know who the people were. my buddy Jubu Smith, amazing guitarist, and Jubu played with Tony, and all these great groups that I love. But he's never been with Frankie Beverly Mays. But when I got to L.A., one night I was at the Baked Potato because I used to just go sit in the jam. So one night I was at the Baked Potato and playing with these guys, English guys, and we did like 2 or 3 songs, blues songs. They were okay, they were good guys, but I don't know anybody. But I try to treat everybody with respect because I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
But not only that, that's who I am. And it was later that Pam said, "Baby, you have no idea who you just played with." And I'm like, "No." And she was like, "That was Emerson, Lake and Palmer." And I was like, I still was like, I had no idea who they were. And so one night, the night I was telling you the story, the night that I became a managed boy, the night that Randy came in, we were at the Maui Sugar Mill in Tarzana. And my friend, I call him my friend, I love him to death. He just called and checked on me. His name Cal David, who used to be with Chicago and the Fabulous Rhinestones and all that. Good friend of mine. He said, "Hey, Sugar, you in town?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in town." He's like, "Listen, man, we're going over to Sugar Mill. Me, Jimmy Vivino, won't you come over and sit in?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I went down there to check out the show. And next thing I know, I'm up singing. So it's me, it's Jimmy Vivino, it's James Gatson and Nate Watts.
Oh, wow.
And this little English guy playing harmonica. And so, I was going to do one song. I think I might have done like four songs or whatever. It was fun. It was packed. So I'm standing outside, me and Cal standing outside for a minute. We talking. And the little English guy, or guy I thought was English, walks up to me, hands me a card. And like, "Oh, Mike, I've seen a lot of them, Mike. And you like one of the best, Mike. Here's my card." And, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Okay, thank you, man. Cool." That's the game. Everybody. I'm like, "All right, man, cool." And so he walks away and Cal is laughing. And Cal's like, "Yeah, I have no idea who that is, do you, Sugar?" I'm like, "No." He like, "That's John Mayall." And I'm like,
"Oh my gosh."
I just played 4 songs with John Mayall. And he's like, I said, "Well, I know the name. I know the name."
Yeah. Yeah.
So in LA, I got to play with a lot of those guys. Bill Chaplin, Honey Boy Edwards, Slash, Vivian Campbell, played with the DeBarge. But but I never looked at them as superstars. They were just cool cats that came to sit in on Monday, and I had a rule: you can play whatever you want, so long as whatever you play it be the blues. And so you would have. I think one of the most special nights for me was the night that me, Slash, and Jim Carrey did "Old Black Betty." And Jim Carrey wanted to sing, and he got up and he did "Old Black Betty," and he sang. There's video of that somewhere on YouTube. You can find it.
Okay.
So me, Chuck Morris, Slash, Teddy Zigzag Andretti, Gary Malabar on the drums, the legendary Gary Malabar on drums, Hank Van Sickle on bass, some of the horn guys from Tower Power and a bunch of other big name bands, and then Jim Carrey and Slash, and Jim Carrey doing "Old Black Betty." Oh man, that was cool.
That's awesome.
I always remember that one. That was kind of cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
cool.
So I being in LA, I've got to do that, and I'm gonna tell you probably one of the most incredible nights for me. Well, there's 2 that stick out. It's really big. The first time I did one of the blues cruises out of Puerto Rico, I had a long conversation with Scrap Iron, Otis Clay, and Johnny Rawls.
Yeah,
and the 3 of them, we all sat out back somewhere and had a seriously deep conversation, and that would stick with me forever. The next time was Lucerne, and I walked off the stage after doing our set. Bob Corto was there because he sat in with us. I walk off the stage after doing our set, and I get accosted by Cyril Neville and Buckwheat Zydeco, and they were singing praises to me. And for me, that was just huge. The cats that had been around forever, that that well respected, dug what I was doing.
Yeah.
And Walter Wolfman. Walter Wolfman has always been cool with me also. Yeah. So I've had some pretty cool experiences,
That's cool stuff, man.
But what about you?
Oh, let's see. I some things that stick out. When I was doing we last night when we were kind of chatting, I talked about I went to the IBC back, I think it was 2001, 2002. And we made it to the finals. It was at the New Daisy before they had moved it.
Yeah.
And so my band had played. There was like 6. I think there were 6 bands in the finals, and Bob Margolin was one of the judges, and so he was playing. He was going to give a guitar, the acoustic guitar of Muddy Waters, the Stella. It's an old Stella, the Muddy Stella. He was going to give it to the Blues Foundation to put it in the Delta Blues Museum.
Wow.
Down in Clarksdale. And so Bob, while they're tallying the votes, Bob is up there playing this old guitar of Muddy's, and it still had the original strings on it that Muddy played, and it was insane. It was just another world experience. And so Bob is coming off the stage, and he hands it to Howard Stovall, who was the president of Blues Foundation at the time. And Howard, and I'm standing right there, just I'm like, can I touch it? I was like, can I just touch this guitar? And so he goes, here, you've earned it, you can play it. And so I'm sitting there at the New Daisy Theater.
Whoa.
With Muddy Waters guitar, with his strings, original strings that hadn't been changed. And wow. I got a chance to play that guitar. And that was just, I mean, it gives me like goosebumps just thinking about it. You know, and that guitar is in the Delta Blues Museum down in Clarksdale. You can go see it. It's right up in the corner there. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, that, and then I ended up playing. I got a call from my friend Tina. Tina Terry, who's a booking agent. She was working at Piedmont at the time, and she's like, "Hey, I've got Kerry Bell is coming to play," and who is Muddy Waters' star player. And he's like, Lurie can't make the gig, which is, was Lurie is his son. And it's like, can you put a band together to back up Kerry? And it's like, I'm getting ready to move to Portland in a week, but yeah, I can do that. So I ended up putting a band together, and it was my keyboard player who ended up playing with Anna Popovic, and he played with Tommy Castro for a long time. It was James Pace. He's over in France now. Yeah, James. Yeah. And so I put, it was my guys, and we played the show, and Kerry, he could barely get on the stage. He was in his 70s, and I didn't know if he was going to be able to play. And you got a harp in his hand, and you could just see the lights go on inside, and just this glow. And it was just a magical thing just to be able to be on stage with him, and a guy who played years with Muddy Waters. And I'm like, I get to be on stage with a guy like that who's been through it all. But just to see this transformation of what music does to anybody at any stage of their life, and it was
it's ethereal. It's beyond deep. It's hard to put it in words.
It is. And for people who aren't musicians, who don't get to experience that. I mean, I think people, that come out to see music do experience that in some ways, but being able to be on stage and be a part of that is, it's something. And that, that ended up being his last show before he died.
Wow. So you got to play.
I got to play his last show. And that was,
Henry Gray was like that. I would do shows with me, Henry Gray, Bob Corritor, Bob Stroger, Bob Margolin. We did a few tours together, and Henry, he would walk up to the stage with a cane like he could barely freaking move, and then get behind the piano and just, swear to God, 60 years will drop off of him once he touched the piano. And he was the other person who was always that way with me. Around the world, wherever he saw me, he would just walk up. I wouldn't even ask him. He just walk on the stage to take over. Was Lazy Lester. Lazy did that about 4 or 5 times, and I loved Lazy. And I mean, I'm not a guitar player. I'm not a harmonica player, but I just always just his stories, just who he was. He was just always really, really cool, And when you're a musician and these guys show you that kind of love.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that I've rarely had anybody that has been like dismissed. I mean, because I'm just some, skinny little kid from Virginia, and they're trying to like, hey, we want this music to keep on going. We want to, they're really accepting. It's like, you're trying to keep this music going. And like, Bob Margolin's another one of those guys who had always been, he lives in North Carolina, and every time I would see him, he'd be like, hey, come on up and play, come up and play with me,
But that's Bob. Bob is really down to earth.
Bob is a great dude, man. Bob, and he I can't think of anybody that has been better at that, trying to bring along younger guys.
Well, it's funny you say that because I just did something with them a few months ago with me, him, Bob Courtois, Bob Stroger.
Yeah.
At Bob's place here in Phoenix. And
and
me and Bob Stroger just hung out outside. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, he's always clean, dressed, dressed nice. And I was just like, this so cool, dude. Just oozing cool, Leon Blue. But I like all the old cats,
I know, the old cat. I mean, because they're sitting there telling you stories about Muddy Waters and how. I'm like, you don't get that. We don't get that anymore.
No.
And we're really blessed to be able to be in a position where we can go and hang out with those guys and play music with those guys. And it's just like, I'm like a kid in first day of school.
One night. I was in Memphis, just walking around. I can't remember if it was BMAs or the IBCs, but I'm walking around. I meet this older brother, nice suit. We sitting there talking, and then my buddy Dennis Jones. Do you know Dennis?
Yeah.
My buddy Dennis Jones walks up, and so we're sitting outside the Hard Rock Cafe in the parking lot, smoking cigarettes. I'm smoking cigars. We chilling, and the old cat finally leaves, and we'll sit there and talk and shoot the shit for like an hour. And again, and this is always happens to me. And so Dennis says, "You have no idea who that was, dude." Like, no, he said that was Eddie the Chief, man, Clearwater.
So I haven't. So I got another call from Tina at Piedmont, and she was like, "I got a festival. You want to play? And you want to back up Eddie Clearwater, the Chief." And I don't know if you know, but Eddie was Carrie Bell's cousin. The guy.
I did not know that.
Yes, they were cousins. So,
but all those guys, Chicago, Mississippi, they was all young.
And that dude, I'm telling you what, I have never seen. And this has been 15 years ago, back in Virginia. And he just passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, he did.
And he was back when I played with him. He was late 70s, maybe 80. I have never seen a guy that age play like that. That dude was playing because you see the some of the older guys, they've lost a little bit. And when we showed up for rehearsal, I'm like, I don't know how much of his parts I'm going to need to do. I listened to all his records, we learned his stuff, and he just starts going. I'm like, wow. I mean that guy, he blew me away. I mean, he was one of the most underrated guitar players and singers that I'd ever seen.
Well, underrated, and I always tell people there's two blues groups, and as bad as it sounds, there's a white blues group, there's a black blues group. I'm talking about fans, and there's all these unbelievable musicians over on the black underground side that the white mainstream side I never even heard of. I remember meeting Marquise Knox when he was like 14 years old in St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
And but there's a lot of those guys, and they have a great career on this. They call it the Southern Soul scene, And there's a whole list of all these unbelievable musicians, and it's sad that someone hasn't had the wherewithal to try to reintegrate all that into one big cohesive cabal or entity, because. There's some unbelievable people out there that people will probably never get a chance to see.
I know.
But that's the business we're in.
I know.
It is called the music business.
Yes. Yeah. We've talked a lot about that.
That's by far I'm going down that alley.
We're not going down.
No, but so that's the way it is. But listen, brother, I want to say thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, man. I love you. Yeah.
Just hope you dug it.
I did. This was great, man. I'd love to come back anytime. And I really appreciate you asking me. I really appreciate it.
I'll definitely bring you back. We haven't doubled up yet, but because I know a million souls, but I'm pretty sure at some point we will double up. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sugaray Rayford. This is my main man, Kevin Selfe. We're both thankful to be here. We're thankful for our fans, our friends, and our families for allowing us to do what we do. We will not be playing the show this coming Tuesday. I'm driving to Texas for my first Thanksgiving in over 30 years. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you and blessings on you. And be safe. Enjoy your Thanksgiving or your holiday if you don't like calling it Thanksgiving. But be thankful. It's been bad. It's tough. Inflation is bad. Diesel is $5 a gallon. It is what it is. We're Americans. We've been here before. You know, we tighten up our belts. We wear them clothes one more time instead of just throwing them in the dirty bin, and we'll be all right. It's called a strength of character. We'll be fine, and we'll get through this. But be safe, be blessed. I will see you after Thanksgiving. And as always, please, for God's sakes, be good to one another and to yourself. I'm Sugaray. I'll holler at you next week.